You've had, a lot of experience with him as well, playing on the stage with him. One thing I remember, people would say when they were bowling to Sachin Tendulkar that you're not only bowling to get him out, but you're also bowling to impress him. That's exactly what happens when you played with Zakir Hussain as well. You're not only, playing the music to present to the audience, but you're also playing to impress Zakir Hussain. How did he, change the way you played on stage? Playing with Zakir Hussain versus playing with others. If you could talk about that and maybe, speak about some of the things that celebrated, that Zakir Hussain celebrated the most.
Well, I go back to a memory from the year 2007. And that was my first time on stage with him in Kolkata back in the day when I used to live there. And I was just in the wings and facing the usual jitters. I mean, I kind of telling myself that, oh, in a few minutes I will be on stage with this larger than life, this person who we have looked up to and idolized so much. And he comes quietly from behind, gives my kurta sleeve a little tug, pulls me aside, whispers into my ear, says, look, my kurtas are a little more expensive and a little better ironed, but at the end of the day, I'm just a tabla player. And, just little moments like this, there's humor in it. But there is also, I have seen him as such a spiritual guide and of course, the great artist that he is. I don't think I'm even qualified to talk about that in the presence of all these great masters of music. But just how deep he was. And he was one of those people, look, there are great artists and then there are leaders. There are people who believe in things. There are people who can carry you forward into the next century or the next millennium or whatever. And I feel Zakir Bhai was one of them. So for me personally, and I think for a lot of us, it's a deep sense of personal loss, like losing a father or a spiritual guru. It's somebody who gave you a sense of tethering, a sense of belonging, a sense of belief, a sense of faith even. I mean, he told me, I remember one of the instances which were a little deep, and it took me a little while to comprehend what he was saying, is he just asked me once, just off the cuff, he said, why do you think Ustad Vilayat Khan Sahab or Pandit Ravi Shankar ji or Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab or Pandit Nikhil Banerjee are what they are? Why do you think? And of course, I knew better, than to give a reply, kept quiet. And I let him answer, and he said, it's not because of what they play, it's not because of how they play, it's just because of how much conviction they have in whatever statement they're trying to make. And that takes me to what Shankarji said, is that, this one thing that Zakir Bhai taught the world of music, it was to be in the moment. It was to live the moment, in the words of Steve Jobs, as if it were your last. And when then he could move on to the next moment and live that moment as if, that was a complete separate, entity unto itself. There's so many little things. There was humor. Right. I have not seen a more well-rounded individual in my life. I can safely say that. And there is, it is incredible how many of us feel like he was a guru or a mentor. You may be a musician. You may Right. even not be a musician. You may be from some other walk of life, but he was still a guru for you.
He was